Hello everybody and welcome back to another YouTube video. Essentially, I was going to make a Halloween special jacket video. It went past the time of Halloween and I thought I'd move on to a different concept because my brain was just bouncing onto different ideas. We're a few of these videos in now and I really appreciate the feedback, and they seem to be doing really well numbers wise, and just people seem to be appreciating and watching them. So as I said a few videos back, as long as you guys are here, I'm going to keep making them. But yeah, it's a new week and I have got a pattern here which I created, and I've got a new concept which I'm going to break down to you in a minute. Normally you're used to me making jackets or bags or something along the lines of that, but I think in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different. That is, one, because I wanted to do something different, and two, because I ordered an amount of fabric and it kind of came to me and wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be, so I think I'm going to make a pair of shorts. And then at the end I have something quite exciting that I'm going to be making and showcasing you. It's a little bit of a cheaper alternative than buying the expensive art pieces that I make. Yeah, we'll get to that later. So I'm going to show you the concept which I have for this week's video, and then we will get to construction. So yeah. So, I'm going to break down this concept using my POV thing that I showed you a few videos back. So I've got a bunch of fabric and I wanted to do something along the lines of camouflage. I was meant to do a jacket, but I didn't think I had enough fabric. This is what I'm working with now. So it is a painting of Yosemite National Park in America. Some old sort of style painting. I've got a bunch of labels that accompany this sort of design, and they're all old Yosemite, either paintings of the national park or different adverts. And essentially I just wanted to make this like camouflage piece which was inspired by Yosemite National Park. It has the mountains and the valley in the background, and I've got some orange fabric which is in this chest here, and I'm going to merge that with this to create some sort of like hunter's camo. When you look at it from afar it looks like camouflage, but when you look at it close you can see like there's a location and there's a bit of a story behind this piece. So I've got an idea in my head of how I want this to look. I want it to look like a nice baggy pair of shorts. I think if it's constructed correctly it could look like really nice, where, as I just said, you look from a little bit of a further distance and it just looks like camouflage, and then you go up close and you realize there's loads of details and there's more to the story, I guess. So I have my own pattern that I've created for this pair of shorts. It is this right here. I made this quite a few months ago and it was for a collection that I'm releasing soon called Horsepower. That will come out and you will see that, but I'll put a photo over the screen of how these shorts fit with the pattern that I've created. I've made a few patchwork pairs, so I do know how they sort of like work. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is for me to just get into this. There's a few things I want to touch on throughout this video which are separate from the actual making of the shorts. But yeah, let's just get the process started.
The golden mines of time, all the secrets of our hearts. It's always what you find that makes it hard for you to part.
So a little bit of a time jump. I haven't even started this project yet, so I don't know why I'm doing time jumps already, but I just had to do a little meeting for a music video that I am planning. But essentially the lighting's gonna go shit because, as I always say on this video, or these videos, the lighting is not the best in the studio. But I'm gonna show you what I can, and then I think this should be a 2-day project, so today and tomorrow. And I'm just going to get the pattern and I'm going to start cutting out the individual little bits and placing the pattern pieces on the imagery in a way that I really like it.
The rising of the sun begins the day.
Oh, and just to mention, I have this orange fabric that I spoke about. It's not much fabric, there's not too much of it. shit, my pattern went everywhere. Yeah, there's not too much of this fabric, but I essentially just want to use it for little details. I kind of like that sort of like hunter camo vibe where you've got the, you know, the camo and then it's infused with sort of like the functional like oranges used for like hunting and all that sort of thing. So I really like that, and I've got a little bit of fluorescent orange, so I'm going to try and incorporate it into this jacket. Jacket? It's not a jacket, a pair of shorts. I'm too used to making jackets. So usually, when I'm pattern cutting, I've used all the fabric, so then I have to use like other parts. Say I'm like cutting a pocket, and I need to put the pocket over a certain part of the jacket or shorts, then I'd always have to use a part of the image which like doesn't match up and fit perfectly with that part of the image on the underneath. But I've got 2 times the fabric, and it's the exact same, so now it means that I can actually match up the parts of the image onto the right parts of the image. Say I'm making this pocket, this bit underneath has a different design from like on the bit on the top, but essentially I can now match up the overlaid bits to the right part of the image. But I think it's quite an interesting thing to show you guys, because I've literally got the exact same print here. Let me show you, it's quite hard to understand. If I match it up at the perfect point right there, you can see that it kind of camouflages itself in, so you can't actually see where the pattern piece is. So it means that it's matching up perfectly to this image below, and essentially then I can just place my pocket pattern piece over the top to line it up. And now I know that if I cut that exactly there, I can pull this bottom piece out there. I know that if I cut that there, now this pocket should match up perfectly. So then now I've pinned this one in place here, and as you can see that, well, you can't see, there is another bit of fabric here, but it is camouflaged in. But I'm going to cut this one first because I don't have 2 of these pattern pieces, and then I'll cut the other one. You can see now this matches up with this, so the inside pocket will all be the same as the outside, and the same with this side too. As you can see, it matches up perfectly. So I think I'm going to use this orange thread on the piece, because obviously it matches this orange, well, it doesn't match, but I think it will look nice together, and it will bring that sort of like camouflage hunters that, you know, when you see like the darts and they've got a bit of orange, and yeah, I'm trying to recreate that. So So, I haven't really used this overlocker in, well, since I've moved into this new studio. I've got to give it a little bit of TLC and make sure that it's all working, but I'm going to overlock all the little bits of the jacket. You're saying jacket? Overlock all the bits of the shorts, get this working, and I think all the pieces will look really clean, but I don't really have the right sort of colour thread, so I'm just using these 4 here, and I think it will still look really nice on the inside. But yeah, I'm going to get this working now. I actually haven't used an overlocker in a while, so I'm kind of a little bit nervous to see how this is going to go down, but I'm just going to practice on this like little off-cut bit and see how it goes. I mean, it should be fine, but I had a bit of an issue with this machine before, so I'm hoping that it sews okay. There we are. Yeah, so I'm going to overlock the insides of the pockets. I'll show you now. I'm going to overlock these inside bits here just so they're a little bit clean. Look a bit more professional. So I've been sat here for like an hour trying to fix my overlocker. It seemed to have been working, and now the bottom looper, the one on the left, is out of time, and whenever I sew it hits on the right needle and essentially just breaks the thread every time. I start things like this and then I sort of wish that I didn't, because I could have just straight stitched the whole thing and then sort of top stitched it all the way down, but also I really want this to be overlocked on the inside and look really clean, so I've got to go and do something now. So to be honest, I think I'm going to leave this for today, come in early tomorrow and smash it out, sort of like level-headedly look at this, try and find the right screwdriver, because I don't actually have the right screwdriver to be able to fix it right now, but I'm going to just, you know, leave it for now and then come in tomorrow, sort this out. I should be able to just complete the whole of the shorts tomorrow and the special item I was talking to you about earlier. This is how my thread comes out, which is not good at all. Annoying things happen like this, but we will literally just work through it and then have a really nice finished product hopefully tomorrow night. I guess you see the ins and outs of the good and the bad things that happen. Hello. Right. Hello everybody, it is the next day. It doesn't look like the next day because it is dark outside. I got busy today and I've just come back to try and finish fixing this sewing machine, and it is finally fixed. I've sat here for about an hour trying to do it, watching YouTube videos of people that I just don't understand what they're saying and they're not explaining it very well and their cameras are out of focus. But yeah, I managed to just play with it and fix it. So that is the overlocker fixed. This is a new machine that you'll see me work on, which is pretty cool. Yeah, let's get back to making the shorts. The thing that you just saw me overlock, they're essentially like the two bits that go in between, like the zip sandwiches in between, and it creates the zipper fly. I'm happy I got the overlocker working because it just means that everything is a little bit more clean on the stitching and stuff, and this is quite like a light piece of clothing and there's not like lining because they're shorts, so I'm just cleaning up all the inside edges and stuff, and it's good because now I have an overlocker that I can use to clean up my edges. Picking the right zipper is always hard because there is so many to choose from. I really like these sort of like washed green ones. I always try and find these in different charity shops or like scrap stores. I like using recyclable and reusable zip. I just think all modern zips, like if you go on like your regular sites where you buy your tools and your stuff like that, most zip are just really bad quality these days. Old zips are a little bit more interesting and they kind of just, you know, there's more detail in them. I even like the faded colours too. I think it's really nice. Maybe the brown's quite nice. The brown could be quite a cool one to use, especially with the fly zipper. Decisions. This black one, heavy duty black one's also quite nice. I think I'm going to use this brown one here, but I am going to cut it down to the length of this black one and then put a little stopper at the end, because I feel like this is a little bit too long for the fly zipper. Fuck, I've lost it.
I never kind of round up bits with the bangers really, but still the bangers in the bits, even fan or fear me, cause if I talk about my
So I've just added the 2 welted pockets onto the back of the shorts. It's pretty much the 2 like primary like back pockets, because I wanted to add details on all the back, have enough space to do whatever I wanted. But I really like this sort of like orange, bright orange kind of like vibe. I think it adds that sort of like hunter's look. I wanted to add a little bit more. I've done orange stitching so it gives it that same sort of like feel and effect, but I'm definitely going to add a little bit more of this orange before these are finished. But yeah, I'm just adding the inside of the pocket to this, and then I'm going to do all the details and the patches and show you all the patches that I've got, and then we'll move on to finishing and constructing these together. So yeah, let's go. So we're now at the stage where I basically add all the patches to the pair of shorts, and I've got some really cool patches this time. This garment is meant to be like based off Yosemite National Park in America, and I really wanted to sort of like encapsulate like the painting side of rough cut in that, but also have like different film photos and like different sort of like old 70s 80s like magazine like promotional sort of bits from the actual part on this garment as patches, you know. So I'm going to break down and showcase all the different labels that I've got and sort of just figuring out all the little details, but yeah, I'll show you these now. So now it's literally just a case of figuring out what patch goes where, and I guess that's sort of like, I figured that out by how it sort of feels, you know, like not so spaced out, but also like some stuff which is like layered on top of each other. Kind of just has to feel right of where I'm sort of like making the placement of the patches. I normally do them like overlaying each other, just to create that sort of vibe, and when they fray it looks really, really nice. Maybe something like this could be quite cool. That is nice. It's pretty nice because the orange matches the orange up here. So, I need to do another order of like buttons and rivets and just all the fun things that is like hardware for the pieces of clothing. I think I have enough to be able to finish this garment. I've got to add buttons to these so that they clip in, and then 2 buttons to the back welted pockets too. Yeah, I think I have enough, but I'm not entirely sure, so I guess we'll see. I'm going to distress the outside of the buttons because they do look a little bit new. I did this on one of the pieces before and I think it looks really nice when they're distressed, so give me a second. I just added the patches and finished all the front patches and the back patches and putting the buttons on all the 4 pockets on the shorts. I'm trying hard not to say jacket. And yeah, it's pretty much like at the point where I'm putting them together. I'm kind of like going through this and it is a little bit quicker than it would be if I was to make a jacket or something, but I think they are a pair of shorts and like, you know, they are just quicker to make. So yeah, I am just gonna sort of sew them together, and then I got to do the waistband, got to do the button on the waistband, sew up the bottoms, and then we have a pair of shorts. I keep forgetting I'm recording, and then time goes by, and then I've got to come back and grab the camera, and then it's out of battery. I've got quite a lot of fabric left. I've just sewn the shorts together. I have folded the bottom and sewn the hem. So I think I'm gonna make a fat waistband. Yeah, I'm gonna cut like a massive strip. I'm gonna basically cut it over the amount that I need, and then on the inside, and then folding it, ironing it, turning it inside out, sewing it down, bang, bang, bang. Let's make a waistband. Hold on, I just made this waistband and it is way too big. I kind of wanted it to be like chunky, but not that chunky, so I'm gonna take the pins out and redo it. So, I literally just finished the shorts. I'm going to talk about them in a second, but first I wanted to do that little segment of the video that I was talking about. I'm going to break it all down to you. So, I've got some fabric here, and it is this plush velvet, really nice sort of like fabric, and I'm going to show you an item which I have always sort of had on my websites, and they've been showcased on my Instagram, but I haven't really showed you guys on YouTube, so I just wanted to showcase the whole sort of process of building this item, give you a little bit more intel on what the item is. So when I started Rough Cut 8 years ago, I kind of wanted to create a product which was a little bit sort of cheaper, like a cheaper sort of alternative item to the art pieces which were put on the website, because I did understand that not everybody could afford the £500-600 clothing items that I was releasing on my page, you know? And I still understand that. I know that a lot of you are here because you're more so inspired about what I'm doing rather than here to purchase the garments, which is fine. And I've also never really wanted to be the sort of person which outsources getting like merch for Rough Cut. I don't really like the idea of blank t-shirts with like Rough Cut official. So yeah, I guess this could come across as like a little bit of an advert in a way, but it's still a one-of-one piece that I make from scratch. These are my plush velvet balaclavas. There is 2 sizes, a medium and a large, and they are basically like a little taster into like the main piece of the garment. If you don't want to spend 400, 500, 600 pounds on a garment that I've made, then alternatively you could pay £44.99 for a balaclava that I have made from scratch. There is only going to be 20 of these balaclavas available at £44.99, and then once them 20 are finished, there will never be any more, so they are completely limited edition. And every week there will be a new balaclava that matches the piece that I'm making. There will be the main piece of artwork, and then there will also be a balaclava to match. I've completely reconstructed and designed a whole new website which is user-friendly, better than my last one. The link is always in the description. I haven't got enough subscribers and views to be able to put cards up the top of the video yet, but we'll get there. You buying one of these balaclavas helps me buy more material to be able to keep making these videos. So yeah, I don't want to sound like a beg. If you want to buy a balaclava, they're online. I've been making these for years. I've made hundreds and hundreds of them over the years to different customers and people that have been buying them off my website. I just haven't really introduced them here. But anyway, let's get back to the main video. It's getting late here, it's about midnight. Yeah, let me break down my thoughts of the main product, less of the balaclavas now. So yeah, these are the final shorts, and I'm not really too sure if I think they are the best piece I've ever made. And every single video I always make the best piece I've ever made, and then I always up that. I think these are really interesting. I guess the idea with them, the original sort of concept, the idea in my head was that I wanted to create something along the lines of camouflage, but then when you looked a bit deeper and saw the labels, you could sort of see that it was based off Yosemite National Park, and I do really think that it has encapsulated that perfectly. I was going to add more of this orange, but I kind of just didn't want to in the end, just due to the fact that I didn't want to overdo it, and I think that this is just the perfect amount on the back pocket. But I'm really happy with how the pattern lines up with the pockets, and all the patterns sort of like make sense. The only thing I wish I maybe could change was the top sort of like waistband and belt loops not sort of matching the ombre of the pattern coming up. But other than that, I am really happy with them. I do like how they've come out. I don't think it's as big of a statement piece as some of the jackets that I've created, but I think they've come out really nice. Yeah, I love that the belt loops have that sort of like middle stitch in them. I love that the buttons are distressed, this little hit of orange. I really like the orange on the pockets that match with the orange in the label, the Yosemite old sort of like 70s, 60s, I don't know what exact time frame it's from, but the sort of like old vintage label that I've used here, the colours match, which is really nice. And I think I've used Yosemite just because I genuinely like, it's a place which I've always been interested in. It just looks like a magical place, and I'm kind of, I guess, manifesting going there by making these. But both the shorts and the balaclava together matching is a really nice touch. And yeah, thank you for watching all the way through this video as usual. You stay here, I keep making the videos. It's a good trade-off. Both the shorts and, as I've mentioned, the balaclavas are on my website now. There is only 20 balaclavas, as I've said, so they are super limited, so you have to go and get one now. Otherwise, if they sell out, then you've missed it and it's never coming back. So if you haven't been quick enough to buy the shorts, they're gone. But with the balaclavas, you have a little bit more time. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you later. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye. Why am I walking this way?